It's the same technique like a trumpet, but you don't have any buttons to press. You only have to do it with your mouth and with your air. I'm Tim Lin, I'm 16 years old and I play the Alphorn. I started when I was 6 years old. My father is Chinese and my mother is from Belarus, but I am born in Germany and the Alphorn is not common there. Sometimes people come to me and ask me a lot of questions. For example, where are you from and why do you play the Alphorn? For some people it's really crazy. For me, I play with heart. I love this instrument and that music. The Welles Drink Pure Festival in Nanda is an international meeting for Alphorn players. The best players in the world come here to compete. And last year I won the first prize in juice category. At the Alphorn Festival, other things are here. Folks dancing, some kind of wrestling. But the most important thing here is to play the Alphorn. Most of the players are from Swiss, but there are people who come from Germany like me, or the USA. During the competition, the jury is blind, so they sit in a tent and see nothing. They only hear. When I play, how to describe? I feel lucky, yeah. To play in the mountains, it's a great experience because nobody has such a view.
Box Wars really feels like a medieval battle. The only difference is it's with cardboard. There's rules to Box Wars, but they're very limited. There's no winners. We like to say that if you're in a Box Wars, you've already lost. I'm Ross. I'm one of the supreme overlords of Box Wars. Box Wars is a collective of people that love to get together, create cardboard creations, and then destroy them in an epic battle. It's more about competitiveness in being creative. The only materials that you can use are cardboard, adhesives like tape, hot glue, whatever you can find in packaging. That's the stuff that we like to use to build our suits. Every single battle has a new engineering challenge, like building a giant aircraft carrier or building a monster truck that actually rolls, or a train which has to carry in a whole bunch of policemen. We encourage people to come down to our events and build as elaborate costumes as they can possibly make. Once they've built the props, then we all gather at a park and then we battle. Everyone comes in and clashes and destroys everything. Stuff that we've spent weeks on designing, it's all gone in seconds. It just started off really small, but then all of a sudden it blew up. There's generally around about 50 to 100 people in the actual battle, and then it can be hundreds and hundreds of spectators. We've got chapters that have started up all around the world. We've had groups in Japan, in Europe, in America, in Canada. It seems so childish, but it's fantastic that a concept like this crosses cultural and language barriers. Box Wars is based around comedy. That's the whole point of Box Wars. We're losers. What we're doing is quite pathetic. We should all have real jobs, but here we are building stuff out of cardboard. If you laugh at us, that's exactly what we want.
Wait, that was pretty pathetic.
Ooh, 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 yeah, ooh.
Hey!
My name is Tony Peacock,
Robbie Goodman,
My name is Sheila Fry. I am a 10-time,
6-time.
two-time champ of the National Hollerin Contest of Spivey's Corner, North Carolina.
Hollerin is a controlled sound that farmers used to communicate with one another before they had modern conveniences like electricity or telephones. Hollers had a certain rhythm and a modulation that would create an echo that would travel over a long distance. But there isn't just one type of holler.
There are actually 4 types of hollers. Number 1, functional. It serves a purpose, such as calling down to a field or calling up from a field when you needed something. Number 2, communicative. You're communicating a message, such as good morning, good evening. Number 3, distress. You need help. Number 4, expressive, just for sheer fun. Many times that could be in the form of tunes or ditties. These types of hollers were what the judges were looking for at the National Hollerin Contest.
The first ever National Hollerin Contest was in 1969. It was started to raise funds for the local fire department. It became a nationwide hit. Hey, that's me. I won the junior division in 1978. My holler was a distress holler. It sounded like a siren.
And I'm proud to be a winner.
Everybody had their own twist that they put on it. The National Hollerin Contest ran for about 48 years, till 2015. We created the worldwide Hollerin Festival that's located in Hope Mills to try to preserve and keep the tradition of hollering alive.
Hollerin is an important piece of culture in this region because it helps us remember our past. We can also appreciate the modern conveniences we have today.
Hollering is part of simpler times, and it's just something that we need to treasure because we need to know our history.
I love hollering because it brings the community together and just the fellowship that you have with one another. We want to keep that tradition alive.
We didn't really have any fast stackers from Texas until he came along.
Like, I couldn't really believe my eyes. Like, I was in shock.
His hands, like, they were always moving, and it was like there was no like thinking about where to put it. It was just like a non-stop, just like brrr.
He's off the charts. He's like as fast as a lightning bolt. My name is Trey Griffith, and I am the fastest cup stacker in the state of Texas. My goal is to be the fastest cup stacker in the whole entire world.
When I first saw Trey begin cup stacking, I was thrilled. Kids on the spectrum are always very passionate and very intense on what their fixation is. And he just shined. I mean, you could see that he was in his element. He was comfortable, he was alive, and he was just doing his thing.
Trey took it to a completely different level. He was doing it systematically instead of just kind of for fun, and it was all about getting that next best time. What Trey does in 5 or 6 seconds takes me 10 or 12, 13 seconds. We've learned not to ever discount what he says he's going to do.
Sport stacking is using a set of 12 plastic cups, and you stack them in a very specific sequence of pyramids, and you are racing yourself and you're racing a timer.
It's a sport that you don't have to be tall. You don't have to necessarily be able to run quickly.
As long as you've got the 12 cups, you've got a mat, and you've got a timer, you can stack. To me, it's just mind-boggling to see these stackers like Trey and his friends, and you can tell they're not even looking at the cups that they're stacking. It is all muscle memory. I mean, it's so fast when they get to this level that the naked eye cannot see it all. When I found out that I was having a boy, of course, I thought about when I was a boy and playing catch with my dad in the backyard, and you flash forward, you know, thinking about those types of things with your kiddo. But when Trey found stacking, it's like, okay, cool. Here's a sport that he's into, and it's got speed. I've always loved sports with speed, and it's got rhythms which make him happy. And I realized what a better way to bond with my child than to learn how to stack myself. I get to stand next to my son, who's one of the fastest in the world, and stack with him and be a part of something special.
Watching the two of them stack together are probably some of the best moments I've ever had. Our motto has always been, the family that stacks together stays together. We go to these tournaments together, we've traveled together, we've made friends all over the country, all over the world. I mean, it's definitely enriched our lives.